Well, I'm working on it, and working on it now means I get to make a few improvements. And one of the improvements I want to make is put an electric water pump on the car. The electric water pump is just going to be a booster because of the exceptionally long lines that run back to the engine from the radiator. The stock LS water pump was never designed to push water through this much line. It does fine at higher RPMs, but at an idle, it's just not quite enough. So in the interest of making the cooling system a little better, I'm adding an electric water pump, and this is why. 1800 RPMs, 212, 210, 208, and as long as I bring the idle up, it'll keep coming down. If I don't bring the idle up and just let it sit there and idle in gear, it will maintain a temperature just below boiling over, even if it's like 95 degrees out. It's never overheated. Well, I can't say, because if it gets really hot outside, I drop it in neutral all the time at stoplights. So it's never really overheated on me, but when it's really hot out, I do have to drop it in neutral and bring the RPMs up a little bit. So the electric booster water pump is really going to be a help sitting in traffic. So that's about $160 I have to spend to add that on here in some time, but it'll be worth it. It'll make it a real streetable car then. Right now it's kind of only certain people can drive it because they got to watch the temperature, I suppose. All right, cooling fans have just stopped running, and it was at about 200 degrees engine temperature. I started the timer. This is the temperature of the water going into the radiator, the water coming out of the radiator, and I will keep the timer running so you know how long this takes. Keep in mind I've set the idle up to 700 RPMs to help the water pump a little bit, but when you're sitting in traffic, this thing will hold temperature, but it will not cool down. So anyway, this is the testing to see whether or not I need a booster fan or not. All right, the fans have just cut on, and it's 60 degrees. Oh yeah, I said booster fan. I mean booster pump, an electric booster water pump. Anyway, this is how much time has elapsed, and that's our temperatures with the fans now running. Water temperature is 215 right now, because that's where the fans are set to come on at. And notice how the outlet temperature is cooling off quite rapidly. But the engine temperature inside the car is, I will take a quick look. Engine temperature is 212. Engine temperature is now 213 degrees. Notice the outlet temperature is all the way down to 90 degrees. And 144 coming in. Keep in mind, I've raised the RPMs to 700 RPMs at idle to try to help the pump, and this is still the results I'm getting. You can lay your hand on this right here, and it is just barely warm to the touch. Now watch what happens when I rev the motor up just a little bit. All right, I'm trying to get about 1200 RPMs. I'm bouncing between 12 and 16 right now. $1,400, $1,500, 14. Engine coolant temperature is now 203, 201. 201 degrees at the engine right now, and I can't see the gauges up there, so I don't know what the temperature's changed to if it hasn't shut off. So we have 149 going in, 97 coming out. All right, and the fans are off. And this is our elapsed time. So I need more coolant flow. So my plan is to put a booster pump in here probably right here, maybe back by the motor, but anyway, just suck the water through here and blow it through there and have it come on with the fans. And inside the car, it all looks like this. I have a little switch that I wired up. It's actually just being used as a light. It tells me when the fans are running. And there's my water temperature right now at the engine. And I bring the RPMs up. And I've proven this several times in traffic that if I just drop it in neutral and bring the RPMs up, the engine temperature comes down. So not all cooling problems are caused by lack of airflow or too small of a radiator. I mean, if you have, I think it's about 14 feet of tubing going each way, so you're trying to pump water through 28 feet of tubing and a radiator, and I don't think the LS motor was designed to do that. So it's time to go order a water pump. We're at 2:04, got a 2-minute time delay on it. That light is still on. And like I said, temperature inside the garage probably like 65, 70 degrees right now, so when the weather's warmer, it's even a little slower to come down if you just let it idle. But now I'll be able to set that idle back down to 550 or so once I get that water pump in. And we got all kinds of extra wires here for testing and other assorted things, and they're not hooked up to what they're supposed to yet. Got a nice little voltmeter up there, a PWM for the alternator. Woohoo! I went back up to 208 degrees just from not revving it. I'm gonna bring it down before I shut it off. All right, there it is at 2:04. I'm gonna hold it for a little while. Wait on my delay. Water temp is 199 now. And she's off. 2 minutes is a mighty long time when you're waiting for a light to go off. All right, I think I figured out the why of what I need to do, and I kind of have a plan for the how, so nothing to do now but drain out all the coolant, cut off some lines, weld them back together in the right places, and maybe this will work. Just a guy in a shop wasting time and money on another crazy project. Well, like, share, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more.